Now if you saw my most anticipated films of the rest of 2015 video, you will know that I was quite looking forward to Everest. I saw the trailer and I just liked the look of it. I liked the look of the special effects, the actors in the film I all liked, everything else in the film just looked really cool from the trailers. So I was like, yeah, when that comes out, I am watching that. So now that I've seen the film, I can tell you that I did think it was a good film. I thought Everest was good. Unfortunately, just not as good as I wanted it to be. The big praise straight off the bat is the special effects. They were amazing. You have avalanches coming down the side of the mountain, you have all these storms coming in, all the snows everywhere. It was just some really cool visual effects and some of the better visual effects I've seen this side of the summer movie season. A big difference for this film for me was that I saw the film in 3D. Now as you can imagine, it is a bit awkward for me to see a film in 3D because I have to put it over my actual normal glasses, but I do it anyway because I want to see this film in 3D because of the entire premise, and it looks really awesome in 3D. And just some of the scenes in particular, like when the avalanche comes down and it's all like flying out the screen, I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of flinched a little bit when the avalanche came down. I was like, oh my god, but it's because I'm not that used to 3D. I don't really see films that much in 3D, but I thought I'd make an exception today, and I'm glad I did because it was some really good 3D. All the actors in the film did fine jobs. I like Jason Clarke in the film, Josh Brolin did a good job, Jake Gyllenhaal. The rest are more supporting characters, but I'm going to get to that in a second. But all the actors in the film, they did good jobs. Everest does have its fair share of some intense moments. There's not as much intensity as I thought there would be in this film, but when the intensity is there, it is there. There are some situations that happen just so suddenly, you're like, oh my god, and some of the situations are just so dire and so extreme, you're just like, how are they going to get out of this? It was some good intensity, and I just would have liked to have seen more of it in the film. Getting on to the more negative stuff, the biggest problem I did have with Everest were the characters. First off, there's not really any character development in this film. They go through all these situations and the characters don't really change. It's just like, oh, there's this thing, we gotta get through it. Okay, they're just like, there's no like deeper meaning kind of thing with the characters or anything like that. But apart from that, there are so many characters in this film, so many people going up Mount Everest, that when it cuts back to some characters, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that guy was in it. Or sometimes it even cuts back to a character and you're like, who's that guy? And the fact that 75% of the time the characters are covered up by these goggles and scarves and all these different protective gear, it really doesn't help. The overabundance of characters makes you forget about some of the supporting characters and makes all the characters in particular just not feel special, if you know what I mean. They just don't feel important enough. And some of the characters don't even have any backstory to even grasp onto. I mean, Jason Clarke is the one you care the most about because he has Keira Knightley at home who's pregnant with his daughter. So you care about him trying to get home to his family when all the disasters start striking. Josh Brolin has a family, but there's not really as much drama or connectivity in there. Jake Gyllenhaal has nothing. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal's just thrown in this film, and I know it's all based on a true story, so this is how it happened in real life, I know, but Jake Gyllenhaal's just like, there, he's a cocky American guy. That's pretty much Jake Gyllenhaal. So the characters, yeah, they don't really develop that much, and there's too much characters for you to start actually caring about individual ones. But on the whole, I did like Everest. It was a good film. It wasn't a horrible watch. It wasn't a bad watch. It's just, like I said, the characters were just not up to par with what I was hoping for. But the rest of the film, the great special effects, the great 3D, the intensity of the situations, the scope and spectacle of the whole film, just save it from being a disaster and actually make it a watchable film. Like I said, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but in the end, I'm going to still give Everest a respectable 3 out of 5. So have you seen Everest and what did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, tell me in the comments below. And if you like this stuff, you want to see more of my stuff, then be sure to subscribe to my channel because I got stuff coming to you guys all the time.